Welcome to Italy! Ciao, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're taking a virtual trip to Bella Italia, but with a twist. We're focusing on what not to do in Italy. That's right, we're diving into the cultural quirks, the faux pas, the little things that could turn your dream Italian vacation into, well, let's just say a less than ideal experience. Now, don't get me wrong, Italy is a wonderfully welcoming country. But like any place, it has its own unique set of customs and etiquette. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want to show up to a friend's house for dinner in a swimsuit and flip-flops, right? So before you pack your bags, make sure you know these important don'ts to avoid any travel faux pas. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Stick with me, and you'll be navigating Italy like a pro in no time. Alright, let's start with a big one, especially if you're planning on visiting any of Italy's magnificent churches. Now, I know the Italian sun can be unforgiving, and those shorts and sleeveless tops might seem like the perfect solution. But trust me, when it comes to churches, it's best to err on the side of modesty. Think of it this way. Churches are places of worship, places where people go to connect with their spirituality. It's about respect, folks. Showing up in clothes that might be considered disrespectful in such a setting is a surefire way to get some disapproving looks. So what's the solution? Simple. Pack a light scarf or shawl in your day bag. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something you can easily throw on over your shoulders or use to cover your legs when entering a church. And hey, while we're on the topic of churches, here's another tip. Keep your voice down. Imagine trying to have a quiet moment of reflection and a group of tourists are loudly chatting away. Not cool, right? So remember, inside a church, whisper, folks, whisper. Let's talk about coffee, shall we? Specifically, cappuccinos. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rick, a cappuccino is a cappuccino. What's the big deal? Well, my friends, in Italy, it's not just a drink, it's a cultural institution. And there's a certain time and place for it. Imagine it's a sunny afternoon in Rome. You've just finished a delicious plate of pasta, and you're craving something warm and comforting. You flag down the waiter and confidently order a cappuccino. And that, my friends, is where things go awry. You see, Italians typically only drink cappuccinos in the morning, usually alongside a light breakfast. It's considered a bit heavy for after lunch. Think of it like eating cereal for dinner. It's just not done. So, what should you order instead? Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? Go for an espresso, a macchiato, or even a cafe corretto if you're feeling adventurous. Trust me, your taste buds and your Italian friends will thank you for it. Okay, picture this. You've just arrived in Florence, checked into your hotel, and you're ready for a delicious Italian dinner. You stroll through the charming streets, your stomach rumbling, and you find a restaurant that looks promising. But here's the catch. It's only 6:30 p.m., and the place is practically deserted. What's going on? Have you stumbled upon a hidden gem, or is something else at play? Well, my friends, welcome to the world of Italian dining, where things operate on a slightly different schedule. In Italy, dinner is a leisurely affair, something to be savored and enjoyed over good conversation and even better wine. And it typically doesn't kick off until at least 7:30 p.m., sometimes even later. So what to do while you wait for the dinner rush? Well, you could always grab a gelato, do some window shopping, or simply soak up the atmosphere at a local piazza. Remember, you're on vacation. Relax, enjoy the slower pace of life, and get ready for a truly memorable Italian dining experience. Now let's talk transportation specifically, trains. Italy has a fantastic train system that can whisk you from romantic Venice to bustling Rome in just a few hours. But there's one crucial step you don't want to miss: validating your ticket. I know, it sounds like an unnecessary hassle. You've already bought your ticket, you're running late, you just want to hop on the train and go. But trust me, skipping this seemingly insignificant step could cost you dearly, literally. You see, those little yellow machines you see scattered around train stations, those aren't just for decoration. They're ticket validators, and they're there for a reason. By validating your ticket, you're essentially activating it, proving that you're traveling on the correct date and time. So, do yourself a favor and take those extra few seconds to validate your ticket. It's a small price to pay for avoiding a hefty fine from a less than amused Italian conductor. One of the great joys of traveling in Italy is experiencing the vibrant local markets. From colorful fruits and vegetables to fragrant cheeses and cured meats, it's a feast for the senses. But there's one important rule to remember when navigating these culinary wonderlands: hands off the produce, I know, it's tempting to squeeze that tomato, to smell that melon, to make sure you're getting the cream of the crop. But in Italian markets, it's considered rude to handle the produce yourself. Think of it like this. The vendors are the experts. They know their produce inside and out. They'll be more than happy to help you choose the perfect ingredients for your next meal. Just point to what you want. Let them know how much you need and they'll take care of the rest. So, resist the urge to poke and prod and embrace the Italian way of shopping. It's all part of the experience, my friends. Now, let's talk about language. While many Italians, especially in tourist areas, speak some English, don't expect everyone to be fluent. After all, you are in their country, right? It's their language, their culture. So, instead of launching straight into English, take a moment to learn a few basic Italian phrases. A simple buongiorno, good morning, grazie, thank you, or per favore, please, can go a long way in showing respect and appreciation for the local culture. Trust me, even if your pronunciation isn't perfect, the effort will be appreciated. It shows that you're not just another tourist, you're a traveler who's genuinely interested in connecting with the local culture. And who knows, you might even surprise yourself with how much you pick up. After all, there's no better way to learn a language than to immerse yourself in it. Let's talk about tipping, shall we? Now, I know in many countries tipping is practically an art form, a complex equation involving percentages and service quality. But in Italy, it's a much simpler affair. You see, tipping isn't as deeply ingrained in Italian culture as it is in, say, the United States. Service charges are often included in the bill, and waiters are paid a living wage, so they're not relying on tips to make ends meet. That being said, it's always nice to show your appreciation for good service. If you're particularly impressed with the service, a small tip, maybe rounding up the bill to the nearest euro, is a perfectly acceptable way to say grazie. But don't feel pressured to leave a hefty tip, especially if the service was just average. Remember, in Italy, it's the quality of the food and the overall dining experience that truly matters. One of the most important things to remember when traveling in Italy is that things move at a different pace. Forget about rushing from one attraction to the next, about cramming as much as possible into your itinerary. In Italy, it's all about slowing down, about savoring the moment. This is especially true when it comes to dining. Meals in Italy are an event, something to be enjoyed leisurely, over good conversation and even better wine. So don't expect to be rushed through your meal. Don't expect fast food service. Embrace the slower pace. Resist the urge to check your watch every 5 minutes. Order another glass of wine. Strike up a conversation with your waiter, or simply soak up the ambiance of your surroundings. Remember, you're in Italy, the land of la dolce vita, the sweet life. Embrace it. Okay, let's talk about driving in Italy, specifically those dreaded ZTLs, or Zone Traffico Limitato. Now I know, navigating a foreign city can be stressful enough without having to decipher confusing road signs. But trust me on this one, folks, pay attention to those ZTL signs. You see, many Italian cities, especially historic centers, have restricted traffic zones designed to preserve the beauty and tranquility of these areas. And entering these zones without a permit can result in some hefty fines. So, what's the solution? Well, if you're planning on driving in Italy, do your research beforehand. Find out if your hotel is located within a ZTL, check if there are alternative routes, and if you absolutely must drive within a restricted zone, make sure you have the necessary permits. Trust me, your wallet will thank you for it. Italy is home to countless churches, cathedrals, and other religious sites, each one more awe-inspiring than the last. But when visiting these sacred spaces, it's important to dress respectfully. Think of it like this. You wouldn't wear a swimsuit to a job interview, would you? The same principle applies to visiting religious sites. It's about showing respect for the culture and beliefs of the people who hold these places sacred. So what does that mean in practical terms? Well, generally speaking, it's best to cover your shoulders and knees. For women, this might mean wearing a scarf or shawl over sleeveless tops and opting for skirts or pants that fall below the knee. Men should avoid wearing tank tops and shorts. It's a small gesture, but it goes a long way in showing respect and ensuring that you're able to fully appreciate the beauty and serenity of these incredible sights. Well, folks, there you have it, our whirlwind tour of what not to do in Italy. Thanks for watching our guide on what not to do in Italy. I know it might seem like a lot to remember, but trust me, a little preparation goes a long way in ensuring a smooth and enjoyable trip. Remember, traveling is all about embracing new experiences, about immersing yourself in different cultures, and part of that is respecting local customs and traditions, even if they seem a bit quirky at first. We hope these tips help you have a smooth and enjoyable trip. So go forth, explore, indulge in all the amazing things Italy has to offer, and most importantly, have fun. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel guides. Ciao for now.